I want to begin this video by saying Happy New Year to you. And I know it's been a difficult year for all of us, but I know good times ahead. And I hope you're starting 2024 with some momentum behind you from 2023. It feels weird recording this because it's still New Year's Eve in 23, but I wanted to make this video because it's been on my mind quite a lot. And it's funny because I actually met my friend yesterday evening and we basically came across this subject, which I already pretty much wrote down my notes, wrote down my script for this video, and it was about identity. And the reason I actually came across this idea in the first place was because I remember being at the gym last week, and I remember recognizing this guy who I went to school with, one of the guys who was a lot more popular than I was at school. And instantly I kind of had flashbacks to those moments of when I was 14, 15 years old, and I was not very popular at school. I got somewhat bullied. I wasn't very confident at all by any means. I was skinny, just insecure, anxious all the time. And I was an easy target for a lot of these guys in this bigger group. But then I remembered, I'm not the same guy as I was then. And this is the video why I wanted to make this, because I feel like so many guys out there still have this identity of when they were 14, 15 and they weren't doing very well. They struggled a lot socially, whether that be friends or women or just struggling to kind of navigate life. They probably didn't have an amazing father figure there or masculine presence there to kind of guide them to a good kind of childhood through that and through difficult challenges that we all face. It's really tough being a young man. And this is what me and my friend were talking about. He was saying he's pretty much deleted all his photos from all the years. He's got about 30, 40 saved. He's printing them all off, and then that's that. He's getting rid of it all. He wants to kind of restart, reprogram his identity. And I have much praise for him for doing this, because I feel like a lot of guys, I'm already seeing the decline from a lot of people I went to school with. I mentioned this quite a lot in my videos. I'm 22 myself, so I'm still very young in the grand scheme of life. But I see guys turning 23 this year, and you can tell they've been drinking a lot. They've not been taking care of themselves. These were the guys that were really popular at school, the jocks, so to speak. They got the girls, they had the mates, they had a good life then. We didn't have the good life, and you start to see the decline, and then you see our lives go like that. It's like slowly getting better every single day, and then their lives are like that every single day. I start to see that, and I think a lot of it comes down to this high school mentality. And because people have stayed in the same little social circle, they've stayed in the same bubble, they've stayed in the same area, they've stayed in the same job, they've been doing an apprenticeship or whatever it is from 16 years old, and nothing's really changed. Nothing in their life has changed. They're the same person. And that's the reason why I think a lot of people struggle to become the man that they want or need to become, that calling that they have. And one of my favourite quotes from all the music that I listen to is Drake's one, when it's, it's real when you are who you think you are. And this quote really resonates with me because I'm not the person yet who I fully want to become, but I've seen a lot of progress in my life, and I know I'm on the journey to becoming that person. I'm seeing how it's going, and I know that my life is only kind of going to go one way. It's going to improve, and I have to constantly remind myself that I'm not that kid anymore who couldn't speak to anyone. If I had that identity still, I would have never created this YouTube channel. And I have to realise that I'm now someone who is pretty confident in myself. I've built up a very impressive physique, top 1% physique, I can easily say. I'm quite confident to go speak to people. I'm working on my finances. I've got good purpose in my life. I've got really good mental health and clarity over my vision. And a lot of people don't have this, and they will never have this. And it's just a reminder that you need to be this guy. You need to become that person, and you need to probably distance yourself away from everything you kind of grew up with. I feel like that is the best way. And I do tell a lot of people who I speak to and coach, maybe the best thing to you would be to kind of get out your hometown, get out the bubble you're in, that you've been in your whole life, and move to a different country. Because like I said, with a small scale for me, going to university, I went to somewhere, I didn't go far away. I went to Nottingham, which is about 40 minutes from me, but I didn't know anyone there. No one knew me. No one knew my past. And And I felt like I became a different person. I started to become a different person there. I started to show confidence and courage, which I never had shown through in my life before. And like, I honestly think like moving to somewhere new is the best thing to do if you want to kind of reintegrate yourself in society and re-identify yourself. And I think you can do this at any age. Like, I think it truly takes about a year in your life to change the person who you are, and within 3 years you could become a completely different person, have a completely different set of life circumstances, and your life could be awful. You might be watching this video now, you might be like 30 years old yourself, and you're like, I still see myself as a loser. And at the end of the day, a lot of the reason why we have our image of that self is because of the evidence we have in our lives. You've got to prove to yourself that you're not. But even when you have became that person, you've put in the work to become someone different. You're not that same guy anymore. It does kind of take time. There's kind of a lapse in time where you're going to be on that incline, but you're still kind of, and then it gradually increases. That's something I've kind of experienced as I've been on self-improvement. I've been better in my life. I've been improving all the areas of my life, and like I feel like that is important to just try something new, maybe try a different environment, because I think that identity shift in your life will completely change the trajectory of your life. How you see yourself is so important. And those people who still see themselves as this loser guy, or whoever it is who have this negative self-image of themselves, unfortunately, in their life, it's not really going to change, because you've probably seen guys who aren't even attractive, and that they just have the kind of delusional belief in themselves that if they go and speak to this girl, then they'll probably get her. You see these guys who are punching way above their weight, you're like, well, I'm better looking than him, and it kind of pisses you off, because you know, like, you're probably a better guy as well inside, but he has a confidence inside of himself, even if he doesn't actually have the evidence to prove it, that he can go and get the things that he wants from life. And I honestly do think having the evidence, for me personally, is what it takes to become, by transforming my identity. But some people can do it through kind of deluding themselves. And I think initially, when you don't have that evidence inside of yourself yet, it is good to kind of just give you that positive affirmations inside yourself, like, yeah, I'm that guy who gets shit done. I'm that guy who is successful. I'm handsome. I've got a great body. I'm becoming that person that I want to become. Because for me, like, one of the biggest things that I hear so many times, if I hear a conversation with my mum meeting a friend and they talk about their kid or someone like that I used to go to school with, and they're like, yeah, he's all right. He's still working on the building site. He goes to the pub with his mates. He watches the football, and that's about it. And I feel like so many young guys are kind of stuck in that kind of life cycle and mentality that it takes a big shift. And I just want you to know that it's possible that you can do this. And the first thing you've got to do is have the evidence there. You've got to put in the work that you are that person. And if you were really struggling, then maybe it works for you to kind of delude yourself that you are that person. And yeah, I think that is the most important thing. You probably need to focus in on becoming that person that you know you need to become. You have the capability inside of yourself, but I think a large portion of it comes down to that identity shift. I don't know if it is just like a UK thing, but we all seem very like we're so negative here, and a lot of people don't have that confidence has been kind of sucked out of everyone. And if you do believe in yourself and have a lot of confidence and kind of like swagger about, you've got like your shoulders back, your chest puffed out, and you kind of just like got that Conor McGregor walk, all that just confidence installed in yourself. Like, people look at you and you get put down. It's like the crabs in the buckets analogy, like I always used to. Like, as soon as you see someone try and escape and do something a bit better with their life, they get pulled right down. It's just kind of the culture and the attitude, I think, in the UK. Like, that's why I get comments on YouTube by people who won't show their face and all of this, because like at the end of the day, they're probably not doing very well, and they're kind of somewhat unconsciously jealous of what I'm doing. But that's a different story. So I really hope this video will help you become that person that you need to be, because I think, especially at this age, when you are starting to see the progress in your life, it is updating that self-image. Just remind yourself, if you see someone you used to know, like, yeah, but I'm not that guy. I've got the evidence to prove that I'm not that guy. And it's just constantly reminding yourself, having that positive feedback loop that you are that person, and then eventually you'll start to see the results. But it's going to take time, and it's going to take sacrifice as well. Is the last thing that I want to mention. When your friends start laughing at you and saying like, "Why are you not coming out? You're not coming to the pub tonight?" You're like, "Why are you not playing video games?" and all of this, you're going to be like, you just got to ignore it. You don't want to rise to them and get pissed off at them, even though you probably will. But a lot of guys will be like that because they won't really grow up and have this mentality ever. Like, people my age watch my videos that I went to school with, and they probably laugh, and they definitely did at the start, and they probably still watch them now. And it's just a bit weird. Like, I used to feel like I had a point to prove to these guys, but I don't care anymore. Like, if they see it, stuff that I'm doing well, cool. If not, I don't care anymore. But it's just that poor, like, childish high school mentality that a lot of people don't get out of, and you've just got to ignore, because there will be so many people who try and drag you down and laugh at you when you try and become someone. You try and present yourself in a different way. You try to dress differently. You try to start something different. Start a business, whatever it may be. Everyone will pretty much everyone around you will laugh at you and be like, "What are you doing? Like, that, this isn't you. We'll come to the pub, get back on FIFA, play video games. Like, why are you not doing this stuff anymore?" But yeah, that's how I want to end this video. I really hope you become that person that you need to become in 2024. Like and subscribe. One-to-one personal coaching link will be below. If you need more help with this identity shift, that'll be below. And yeah, have a great start to your new year. Take care.